Y'all already know what to do. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to be sure to insert the clip for YouTube and Instagram below. And if you're new to the channel, what up? What up, THST fam? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? I'm good, but, you know, I'm always coming at y'all with a story time because I love sharing the not so funny moments and the funny moments that goes on in my day-to-day. So, this story time is about how Midnight stopped working on me for a little bit. And it's gonna be funny. So, yesterday I had to go to Optimum. So, get outside, everything's all good, just, looking cute, looking fly, as I always do. And I get on the bus, and next thing you know, as I start to get into the little space where they put you in to strap you up, Midnight goes completely blank. Now, at this point, I'm kind of getting nervous because I'm like, oh snap, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? So I'm like, it's probably the battery. Maybe, me charging it too much. It's overheated. It's not, it's too hot. Maybe, So he straps me up. Everything's all good. So, because he's like, give it time to cool down. And we'll see what happens when we get to the terminal. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm pretty much level-headed at this point. So, we get to the terminal. He unstraps me, try to turn Midnight back on, and he still wasn't working. So at this point, I'm like, Lord Jesus, I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Like,
I was really calling on the name.
Somebody rescue me. These things in my head, because mind you, I was the calmest I probably ever was in that situation. Because I'm known to, like, freak out when it comes to my wheelchairs. I don't care which one it is. I don't care if it's the hoopty, aka the manual chair. I don't care if it's Midnight. I don't care if it was Penny. Like, I
love my cars,
freak out when it comes to my chairs.
I named them.
Y'all know that anybody that has cerebral palsy or any type of disability where you have to use a motorized chair or a manual chair, y'all know that's our leg, so to speak. And if it breaks down, then we're down. So, the driver gets me back, inside. Inside, I'm sitting there, so I'm like, okay, let me text Freddie and see if he know any emergency transportations that can pick me up.
I inserted the pic of me texting
because I have, my evening needs. So, I text Freddie. I'm like, do you know of any emergency transportations that could get me, home? Because right now I'm in an emergency. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, Midnight stopped working. So he's like, okay, let me call Milford Transit and you call GBT. As usual, I couldn't get a hold of nobody from GBT, and he didn't get nobody at Milford Transit. So I'm like, okay, phase 2, call New Motion. So, okay, we call New Motion. Well, I call New Motion, not we, because he wasn't with me. So I call New Motion. So he's like, what seems to be the problem here? I'm like, can I speak to Aubrey? Sorry, I'm about to say it.
Her name is Aubrey. I can't even hear her name right. I'm so sorry.
Because she's the head of the repair department. There we go. So the lady's like, oh, I can't get in touch with her, but I can call one of our wheelchair techs and they can, do the video camera so they can see you. So I'm like, okay, cool. So she finally gets me to the guy after a 20-minute wait because she couldn't get a hold of nobody. But she finally got in touch with him. So the guy's like, let's see your wheelchair. So, and shout out to the people that were helping me, you know, as I got inside and everything like that. Because y'all definitely was clutch. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm looking around and see if somebody can help me, like, hold the camera so he can see the whole chair. In turn, I ran into somebody that I know. Shout out to Mr. Junior, because he definitely did help your girl out. So, meanwhile, I'm telling the tech guy, like, oh, it's the battery. Like, I know it's the battery. So
and sis
like,
really thought it was the battery, but here's the kicker.
Like, can you lift up the controller armrest and let me see the cord? So I lift up the armrest and I had Mr. Junior hold the camera so that he could see the whole thing. And guess what, y'all? It wasn't even the battery. It was the cord. And you know the cord I'm talking about. Like, if you have a motorized chair, it's the cord that goes from the armrest all the way down to the bottom when you lift it up. And wherever the plug goes, because I've actually never seen it. But if you don't know what it looks like, I'll be sure to insert a pic and show you guys. So, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, did he just say what I think he just said?
Yes, he did, girl. Yes, he did.
I'm sitting there like, really? Like, how did that get knocked out? So, I don't know if it got knocked out when the driver was trying to strap me up, if I hit it trying to back into the space, I don't know. So, all in all, we got the chair fixed, and I was back in business, and I was able to go to Optimum and make it.
And midnight is purring like a champ.
So, the moral of the story is you got to be careful how you riding in your vehicles or however the case might be, because sometimes, you know, drivers can put the straps in the back in a spot where it shouldn't be or anything like that. That's why you have to be very vocal and tell them where and where not to put it, because you don't want your chair to get messed up, because like I said, this is our mode of transportation. This is what we use to get around. This is our leg, so to speak. Whether if you use a hoopty, and that's a manual chair is what I like to call them. Whether if you got your car, your electric chair. So.
And yes, I like to name my chairs. Yes, I'm that obsessed.
To Optimum. And it was another mission complete. But I think I've learned to just be more careful and make sure when I ride the bus, you know, to definitely keep being vocal, because they already know me. I'll be like, don't strap that there, strap it there. Okay, some of them still insist putting it in the frame of the footrest, which you're not supposed to do.
Some of the drivers still do what they want to do, but
sorry. Because I've already had like 3 pairs of footrests in like the last 2 years for different reasons. The last one being because drivers kept putting the the straps in the frame of the footrest, which is not supposed to go there. So, I think that is it for this story time. I'm just glad that my baby's fixed. Like I said, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and join the GHST fam. And yeah, that is it for today's video. Love you guys. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Until the next one.